Good morning, Matt Dela Cruz here with Winning Minds Group, part of the John Maxwell team, and welcome to Mondays with Matt. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Looking forward to another extraordinary week this week. But I also want to take a step back and ask you the question of how your week was last week. Last Monday, we talked about a winner's mindset. You play to win, you expect to win, you always win. So my question to you is, how was last week? Did you win? Did you play to win? Did you expect to win? Do you always win? See, that's where it all starts out to it, because your level of belief will take you to the outcome that you're looking for. But you control your beliefs. You control the way you think, how you feel, what you see, and what you do. Which really brings me up to a couple of quotes that I want to talk about today. And this is actually out of As a Man Thinketh. And two of my favorite ones when it talks about this particular part. It says, to desire is to obtain, to aspire is to achieve. Again, to desire is to obtain, to aspire is to achieve. And I love this one too. And it says, dream lofty dreams, and so you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. So you've heard me talk several times, and I talk about it at my events, about the be, do, have. And I had someone send me an email that just got done finishing up my Lansing event. And a person went through and they said, I was going through your exercise in that one page when you talked about be, do, have. Can you explain that a little bit more to her? So I sent her an email back on it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about that today. Because years ago, 36 years ago to be exact, my friend, my mentor, Zig Ziglar, had mentioned that to me about be, do, have, be, do, have. And he says, you have to understand that formula, be, do, have. And I'll never forget that. But he said, be, do, have. And I looked at it, and he says, what does that mean to you? And I said, I don't know, be, do, have. He says, it's really, you got to start from the back end of it. So have, do, be. And he says, see, you can't have what you want in life until you do what you need to do. And you'll never do what you need to do until you become what you need to become. And I sat there and I pondered on it and I thought about that. And even to this day, I look at it. It's part of the goal-setting formula, right? You can't have until you do, and you can't do until you become. And then you look at the be, right? Become. What do I need to become? Well, what I've learned is become is the right attitude. So let's just say the do is the action and the have is the goal. So have is to goal, the do is to action, and the be is what you need to become. So let me put it together for you real quick so you can understand this formula. And hopefully if you're watching this, Lynn, this is right to you. Where the goal is, let's just say the goal is to lose weight. That's goal. Have, want to, have to, need to lose 15 pounds. That's the goal. Well, then what is the do of the actions? Well, that means you have to eat right. You have to exercise. Watch what you put in your body. That's the do. And then what do you need to become? So then you need to become and be aware of what you put in your body all day long, right? The proper techniques of exercise, nutritional. You have to become that student. And that's what Zig Ziglar said. He goes, become a student of what you want to become. In other words, make it a practice, make it a study of whatever you want to be, do, or have. And that's when the formula really came out to be. So remember, you can't have until you do, you can't do until you become. And sometimes become, you might have to be persistent. That's an attitude part. Or sometimes you have to be determined. There's another attitude part. You have to become knowledgeable so you can do what you need to do, and then eventually you'll have what you've always wanted. So going back to that again, is to desire is to obtain, to aspire to is to achieve. So I want you to think about this week. I want you to think about what you want to have. What do you have to do to get what you want? But what do you need to become so you can do it on a consistent basis, and eventually you'll have what's rightfully yours? So until next week, live with passion, live intentionally, and let's just make sure that we understand the be, do, have. Thanks so much. Make it a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.